Right, hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we have done week one of our build and our extension. And I tell you what, they've made some serious progress. Maybe this is just normal, but I actually think they've made a lot of progress, a lot more than I thought. So on Monday they turned up, they dug the foundations, they dug it kind of down one side. Then Tuesday they finished it, they dug it down another side. Then they came back on Wednesday, put the cement in, and actually on Tuesday the building inspector came out and he signed off all the foundations. So we dug down 1 metre, and there was a danger that the inspector can come out and make you dig down further than a metre. But and if you go down further than a metre, they can't use the digger anymore, they have to hand dig it. So that is a bonus. So the building inspector signed off the foundations, and then on Wednesday they put the cement in, and then on Thursday started to put walls up. So now it is Friday, and it's quite amazing if you actually look how much has actually been done. So we come out here and look at it from the back and the side. So if you look at it from the sort of back bit here, if you remember what I said in the last video, our bifold doors are going to start from here, and then they're going to go to the other bit there. So that gap there that wall there is the same size as that wall, and then the doors are going to go in there. And what the builder guy said is, which I'm a little bit apprehensive about, is when they come back after Christmas, they're going to take that wall out, but they're actually going to take out both walls at the same time. So that entire part of our house will just be held up by acros, so poles that just hold your house up. So that entire roof will just be held up by metal poles, which is going to be quite interesting to see. If we ever look down the side of it, you can actually see the kind of insulation that they put in. So I think the building regs state it needs to be 100 mil. So this is 100 mil like rock wall. So you've got your wall, the insulation, and the block work. And what amazes me is just how thick a wall is and how much space you lose. From like, that wall is like, about that thick, that wall. And if you compare that to the wall on the existing house, which is actually going to come out, this wall is only about this thick. So the building regs has just changed obviously massively over the years. So you end up with like thicker walls. But unbelievable amount of progress for 1 week. And they reckon that by next week they will have all the walls done and they will build the floor up. And this is one thing I found quite amazing, is how deep this floor is. This is like the floor line there, and they've still got to fill this up. So they're going to put insulation in and then concrete, and then it'll be done. But it's quite low down. So surprising amount of progress. Really happy with the builders so far. They've done a great job. And we move on to week 2. Week 2 is complete, and we've made a bit of progress. Not as much progress, it doesn't seem as dramatic as what we saw in week 1, but still we've made good progress. We've made the right amount of progress this week before Christmas. So this wall is up. We've got concrete floor on the floor, and if you look out here, this was something I did the other day which kind of annoyed the builders. I walked out here and stepped on this. Oh no. And I kind of pulled this brick out by accident, and now that's not been cemented in. So I'm hoping that they kind of remember to do that. And I've just done that, so brilliant. Anyway, come out here, and the wall is up, and obviously the outer wall is up, and there's like insulation in there, and it's looking good. So as I said before, that wall is the same size as that wall over there, and then the doors are going to go across the back here. But that, when it rains, is starting to act a bit like a swimming pool, and it fills up, so that's a bit annoying. But what I'm going to do today is, because it's like Christmas and there's going to be like Christmas sales, thinking about buying my TV. So what I'm going to do, I don't know whether to get a 55-inch TV or a 65-inch TV. And I know some people will look at that and go, 55-inch TV is too big, but I'm not sure. I think a 55 might be too small if I stand in there and I'm like looking at it. So what I'm going to do is map out on here, draw it out, how big a 55 is and how big a 65 is. So to be able to do this, I need to be able to get my measurer thing out, which I got from Amazon, and put that on and measure the wall, and then I'm going to measure the halfway point on the wall, and then go and look at my current 55-inch TV, measure that, and then try and draw it out on there. That's the general idea. Okay, so put that on there, and then the laser goes on the other side there. That's 3.62. So half of that is going to be 1.8-ish meters. So I am rubbish at this. I'd say if you're watching this video because you think you're going to learn something, go and watch something else. Right. So roughly 1.8. Oh, that's handy. I've taken off a little bit there though, so it's probably about there. What did I say? 1 point. About there. Right. Height of the ceiling is 2.335 meters. Down there we've got damp course, so the floor is actually going to start there. So it's 2.3 from there. So half of 2.3 is 1. Yeah, but it's 2.370. 1.15.35. 1.15.35. Where's that black one? There it is. 1 point. What? That doesn't seem very high. 1.35. That can't be right. I know. No, what did I say? 1.15. That's even worse. Right. Let's measure this. 1.15. That's even lower. That's there. That can't be the halfway point on the wall.
Well, count the bricks. Count the bricks. You've got 1 brick.
Well, I suppose I don't really want it halfway up the wall, do I?
6, 7. No, you want it higher than that. 8, 9, 10. A little bit more. Let's call it 10. So half is going to be 5 bricks up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Okay. We just had a bit of a moment between the two of us trying to work out where this is. I think roughly the middle of the TV, or about there, maybe? Don't really know. About there. Right. So that's measuring, that is. And then I'm coming here, I'm going to measure my current TV. Which is 1.24 meters. Half of that is going to be 62. So 62 centimetres out from that middle point. Remember that. Then 71 is going to be 35.5. So 62 out, 35.5 up. 62 out. This isn't going to be big enough, is it? 55. And 35.5 up. Right. So now, can you actually see that? Where was the other one? Oh, it's there. And then I need a 62 on this one. Roughly there. Just rough idea this, rough idea. It's not going to be where it actually goes. And then a 35.5 from there. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Right. One thing I'm not going to do in this is ask my wife, because she would just tell me to get an even smaller telly, and that's the worst mistake you can make when you're looking at tellies, is consult your wife, because she always say the telly's too big and it should be smaller. And a man will always say the telly's not big enough. Pretty much. So I don't know if you can really see that on the screen.
You can actually see quite well.
But that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you map out a 55-inch TV onto a bare wall that's outside, so you can see how big it's going to look. And if I was stood like here, it would probably be an okay size. I think it's too small. But we're two guys, we both think it seems a bit too small. But we'll come into the kitchen, and I suspect it's going to look even smaller from in here. So if you think about it, the island is going to be here. Sorry about the mess, a bit chaotic. It can't be too big, but I don't know. The thing with a 65 though, 65 is going to be massive. Let's do a 65. 122. So there is a lesson for you. ChatGPT in AI is not right, because I've literally just measured a 55-inch TV and it's much wider than it says on there, unless I haven't measured it correctly.
I believe ChatGPT.
Oh, no, it is 124. Inch, 122 centimetres. Yes, so it's right. Yeah, it's right. Okay.
Oh God.
ChatGPT is right. I just wasn't thinking straight. 72. That's all right, isn't it? It's not that much bigger.
I thought we need more than that.
Yeah, I'm thinking even like. Oh. Right, so make sure that's level. Very important at this stage of the build. Everything's level. You notice how we were much better at this the second time round? It just goes to show practice makes perfect. There we go. Right, so there's a 65 mapped out. And that doesn't really seem to make a lot on the diagonals. It should be 5 extra inches on either side.
Maths works.
Yeah, that's almost, look at that. We've actually done something right for once. Anyway, so that is a 65, and actually, I'm preferring a 65. If you can see that. You can see it here, a 65 and a 55. Obviously, I'll have to verify it with my wife first, but I think the 65 is the way ahead. Wait here, I'll go and get her. For this important thing, she's wrapping Christmas presents, but this is much more important. 55 and a 65. So obviously, the small one is the 55 and the big one's the 65, and I think the 65.
Of course you think the 65. I think the 65.
Thank you, Daisy.
It's going to be wall mounted, yeah?
Yeah.
No cables or anything.
What do you think, Seymour?
Yeah, that's alright. 65. Yeah, I think that's alright. I approve.
Yeah. Right, so we've got the wife seal of approval. We are going for a 65-inch TV now, so I've now got to look out for a deal with that. And the building's actually stopped now. It's quite frustrating because they've done all this. They've done this in 2 weeks to get to this point, and now we've got to wait another 2 weeks over Christmas for them to actually come back and carry on. The next stage of the build is actually going to be to take out this wall and the front wall. So this whole roof is going to be held up by acros, as I explained before. And then they're going to start putting the roof on, and they'll put the skylight in, and then they're going to kind of get it all watertight, and then they'll start vaulting that ceiling, hopefully. So I think it's going to be slow now for a couple of weeks, and then we'll get started again in the new year. The other thing I've done this week is I've ordered the kitchen. We've gone with DIY kitchens. I'll do another video on that. I already did the video on us going to see it, but I'll do another video on the DIY kitchens planner, and also when it actually turns up, I'll do a video as well. So keep watching and see you soon.